My son drew a house we never visited. There were 5 rules on the back. My son started drawing a house we had never visited. On the back of the paper, there were 5 rules. I was not afraid when I found the first drawing. Children draw strange things all the time. A crooked house, long arms, a green sky, the sun inside a bedroom. Davi was 5, and at 5 years old imagination still does not ask permission to make sense. The fear came later. It came when I realized he drew that house with more care than he drew my face. I was always a round head, 2 dots for eyes, 1 line for a mouth, and a few lines coming out of the body. But the house was different. The house had depth. It had counted bricks. It had a narrow side stairway. It had the same low gate, painted dark green, with a chip corner on the right. And there was always 1 lit window upstairs. Always. Even when Davi colored the sky like daytime, that window stayed yellow, as if someone inside was awake and waiting. The first time, I thought it was beautiful. He was sitting on the living room rug, legs crossed, with his box of pencils open in front of him. It was Saturday morning. I had made pancakes too small because he liked to stack 3 on his plate and pretend it was a birthday cake. I was trying to be a good weekend father. After the separation, that expression stuck to me, as if love could fit inside a schedule, a backpack, and a time agreed at the gate of his Mother-S building. Davi stayed with me from Friday night until Sunday after lunch, and every arrival hug felt like a test I never knew if I had passed. That Saturday, I walked over with a mug in my hand. "What house is that, champ?"
It is the house that stays when I close my eyes.
"Did you dream about it?"
No. Dreams end.
I should have paid more attention to that answer. Instead, I ruffled his hair, praised the drawing, and went to wash the dishes. When Davi fell asleep on the sofa watching cartoons, I picked up the paper to put it in the drawer where I kept his things. That was when I saw the man at the gate. He was drawn small, almost hidden. A long black line, standing outside. No face. Just a thin body, taller than the gate, with 1 arm raised, as if he were waving. I kept the drawing. The next week, I found another. Then another. Then 4 more. They were not in the drawer. They were hidden behind a shelf, under the inflatable mattress, inside a children's book cover, between the pages of an old notebook. All of them showed the same house. But the small changes were getting worse. In the second drawing, the upstairs window was brighter. In the third, the man at the gate looked less thin. In the fourth, there was a shadow behind the curtain. In the fifth, the gate was open. Davi always drew the house from the same angle. Not almost the same. 2 exactly the same. The distance between the door and the window. The crack near the gutter. The square stone at the beginning of the side stairway. A 5-year-old child did not repeat that by accident. The next Friday, Davi arrived quieter. He walked into the apartment holding his backpack against his chest, gave me a quick hug, and went straight to the living room. "Is everything all right?
Yes.
Do you want pancakes tomorrow?" He shrugged. That small gesture hurt. Pancakes were our thing. We made too much batter and invented names for the ones that came out misshapen. He always laughed when one came out long, and I said it was a lizard pancake. That night, he did not ask for a bedtime story. He kept staring at the ceiling, holding a blue toy car. "Do you want me to sing that song?"
What song?
"Ours. The one about the little boat that does not know how to come back."
You used to sing that?
"I did. When you were smaller."
Oh.
He turned to the side.
Good night, Dad.
On Saturday morning, I found the drawing that changed everything. It was on the table, as if Davi had left it there on purpose. The house was there again, but now there was a red door where before there had only been a dark rectangle. Too red. Davi almost never used that color. He said it was the color of angry things. On that paper, he had pressed a pencil so hard the sheet was marked. I picked it up carefully. The window was still lit. The man was still at the gate, but now he was inside the yard. I turned the paper over. There was writing on the back. It was not a child's handwriting. It was adult, slanted to the right, too firm, like someone used to filling out forms. At the top, there was 1 sentence. When he starts talking to the other father, follow without arguing. Below it, there were 5 rules.
Rule number 1. If he draws a red door after 7:15 in the morning, do not ask who lives there. Children answer before they understand, and the first answer makes room for a false memory. If you hear a hinge creaking while he speaks, stop looking at the paper. Rule number 2. If he says the other father has arrived, answer only that he is late. Do not say he does not exist, do not laugh, and do not correct the boy in front of the living room door. Things denied in front of a child look for another place to exist, and they usually choose the warmest place in the house. Rule number 3. If he forgets your name, do not correct him the first time. Place your hand on his chest, above the heart, and tell him a memory only the two of you lived before his last birthday. A name recovers attention. Memory recovers affection. If he blinks 3 times without answering, let go. Rule number 4. If the drawing appears wet, remove every family photo from the living room before the water dries. Do not wipe the paper. Do not use bright light. When the water dries on its own, the paper chooses which faces still belong to the house. Rule number 5. If he asks to sleep in the house from the drawing, hug him before he finishes the sentence. Do not ask for an explanation. Do not promise to get help. Do not look at the lit window. As long as he remembers your hug, the door still does not know the way back.
I read it twice. Then I called Davi. He appeared in the hallway in his pajamas, rubbing one eye. Did you write this?
No.
Who wrote it?
I cannot say if the door is read.
Who told you that?
It is written.
I should have stopped. The rule was in my hand, but the instinct of being a father was stronger. Davi, look at me. Who lives in that house?
The father who remembers me before I was born.
At that exact moment, I heard a creak. It came from inside the drawing. From the paper. A thin old sound, like a hinge opening carefully. I remembered too late. Stop looking at the paper. I turned my face away. Davi turned too, but not toward me. He looked at the apartment door.
He came early today.
Rule number 2 rose inside my head. If he says the other father has arrived, answer only that he is late. My throat locked. The doorknob did not move, but I felt someone was on the other side. Davi walked to the door. Do not open it.
But he came to pick me up.
No. The word came out automatic. Hard. Useless. Davi slowly turned his face. For a second, he did not seem to recognize me completely. Then someone rang the doorbell. Once. The sound was normal. That was the worst part. It was just my apartment doorbell.
See?
He is late.
What?
The other father is late. The doorbell did not ring again. Davi lowered his shoulders, as if that sentence made sense in a logic I did not know.
He does not like being late.
I know. I did not know. But I said it as if I did. When I looked through the peephole, the hallway was empty. When I turned back, the framed photograph near the television was face down. In that picture, Davi was on my lap at his 3rd birthday, with white frosting on his face. But my face was blurred, not like motion blur. Like someone had rubbed a thumb exactly over my face before the ink dried. Did you touch this photo?
No.
He was coloring the yellow window. Davi.
I do not remember that photo.
That was when I understood those rules were not a threat written to frighten a father. They were survival instructions. For his memory. I want to pull Davi out of there. Call someone. Fill the house with explanations. But the only thing I'd already learned was that denial and panic seemed to open more room for it. So I did what was left. I kept the routine as if it were still a wall. I made pancakes. I said lizard pancake when one came out long. He gave the twisted pancake a polite smile. Polite.
Do you always say that?
Always.
Oh. There. He makes them round.
They're where?
In the house.
I did not ask anymore. After lunch, I called his mother from a bedroom, leaving the door cracked so I could see Davi in the living room.
Hi, Raphael. Is everything all right?
Has Davi been saying anything strange? About a house? Or another father?
Why are you asking me that?
Did he say it there too?
Yesterday he asked whether you were coming to pick him up, or whether it was the other one.
And what did you say?
I said only you pick him up. That there is no other one.
Did anything happen after that?
He looked at me as if I had lied. Then he asked why I had taken you out of the school photo.
Am I still in the photo? She did not answer. When she spoke again, her voice was lower.
Raphael, what is happening?
I do not know yet.
He woke up twice this week asking if he could sleep in the narrow house. I thought it was a dream.
If he says that again, do not let him finish. Hug him first. Ask later.
Raphael, you are scaring me.
I'm scared too. Do not come now. Keep the phone close. If he speaks about the house again, hug him first and ask later. When I returned to the living room, Davi was gone from the rug. The red door in the drawing had a golden doorknob that I was certain had not been there before. Then I heard water dripping in the room where he slept. Davi was sitting on the bed with another drawing in his lap. The paper was wet, as if it had been left against an open window during drizzle. The edges rippled, and a drop slid from the lower corner. Rule number 4. Where did you get this?
It was in my backpack.
The backpack was dry. In the drawing, the house was closer. Behind the curtain of the lit window, there was a thin outline, almost a hand. Stay here. I ran to the living room. There were framed photos on a shelf, the table, the rack near the television. I had placed those pictures there so Davi would feel that this apartment was his too. I started gathering everything. One frame fell on the rug and the glass cracked. When I picked up the photo from his third birthday, my face was no longer just blurred. There was another man in my place. The body was mine. The shirt was mine. The hand holding Davi was mine. But the face was long, blank, turned slightly toward the camera. And Davi was smiling at him. I put everything inside the bedroom closet and shut the door. When I came back, Davi stood in the hallway with the paper in his hand.
It dried.
The water had disappeared. The house now had 2 lit windows.
Did you take the pictures away? All of them?
All of them.
He said you would forget one.
Who said that?
I do not want to go there.
Then you will not go.
But I remember it when I get sleepy.
What part do you remember?
The hallway. It smells like old rain. There is a light on that makes noise.
Lights do not make noise. Son.
That one does. And there is a man who knows the song.
Davi began to sing softly. The song about the little boat. Ours. But the melody was wrong in 2 places. Instead of coming back, he sang going in. The little boat does not know how to go in.
Did you sing it differently?
I sang it the right way. He looked at me with pity, as if I were a man trying to convince a child that an old dream belonged to him. That was when he asked.
What is your name again?
The hallway seemed to tilt.
Sorry. I know you are my weekend father, but I forgot your name.
Rule number 3 came back whole. Do not correct him the first time. My impulse was to say Raphael, to make him repeat it, to write my name on paper and place it on the refrigerator. But I saw the wet drawing in his hand and understood that my name was the weakest part of me at that moment. I knelt again and placed my hand on his chest, above his heart. I searched for a small memory. Big memories are easy to fake. Birthdays, school, beach, presents. All of that fits inside a photo. All of that can be stolen by a blurred face. You were 3. We were at the supermarket, in the checkout line. You saw a pack of cotton and asked if they sold pieces of cloud. I said yes, but only for children who promised not to keep storms in their pockets. You got serious and checked your pocket. The cashier laughed. You got mad at me because you thought I had told a cloud secret to a stranger. On the way home, you stayed quiet for 3 minutes. Then you gave me an invisible piece of cloud and said it was so I would not be sad.
I kept it in the blue pocket.
You did.
You said my pocket was too small for storm.
I did. He looked at me as if he had returned from very far away.
Rafa?
It was not Dad. It was not my whole name. But it was a nickname he had used when he was still learning to speak. I hugged Davi in the hallway, and he let me. That hug did not solve anything, but it gave me back a few seconds. That night, I put mattresses in the living room and called it camping. I made popcorn, kept the children's movie playing low, and left every light on. Davi fell asleep near 10. I did not sleep. I sat on the floor with the drawings in my lap. I searched the house on my phone for almost an hour. Green gate, narrow house, upstairs window, neighborhoods I had never visited. Nothing. I searched for the exact sentences from the rules. Nothing. The only conclusion was worse than doubt. Those rules had been written by someone who had failed before. Someone who had watched a child forget. Someone who had learned too late that denying the other father gave him strength. Someone who had learned that photos could be rewritten. Near midnight, I heard Davi speaking in his sleep.
No. Not now. He is here.
Who is here, son?
The man who thinks he is my father.
The apartment became cold. Not ordinary cold. It was as if my own living room had accepted me as a guest. I looked at the door. Under it, there was light. Not the white light from the building hallway. A yellow, warm, uneven light, like an old lamp seen through a curtain. The lit window. I knew that if I opened the apartment door, I would not find the hallway. I would find the green gate. The narrow house. The man standing there, waiting without hurry.
He said you do not remember who put you here.
Davi?
Can I sleep in the house from the drawing tomorrow?
I hugged my son before he finished. I hugged him as if the world had turned into water and he was the only thing that still had weight. He went stiff at first.
Dad?
I am here.
I was only going to ask if I could sleep.
I know.
Why are you crying?
Because I remembered something. That you fit in my arms before you knew how to speak. Davi slowly relaxed. We stayed on the living room floor for a long time. Only near dawn did I fall asleep. I dreamed of a house. I stood before the green gate, holding someone's hand. My hand was small. The street was wet, but it was not raining. The upstairs window was lit, and I knew there was a bed ready for me inside.
When they ask, say it has always been this way.
I tried to look at his face, but there was no face. Only a pale blur where eyes, mouth, and expression should have been. I woke up with Davi calling me.
Dad.
Morning light entered the living room. The apartment door was normal. Davi was sitting on the mattress, holding my finger.
You slept crooked.
I did.
Can you make lizard pancakes?
I can. For a few minutes, I wanted to believe it was over, that the rules had worked, that the house had lost the path. I made pancakes. Davi laughed at the first long one. He sang the little boat song the right way. He called his mother on speaker and told her he had slept in the living room. She asked if everything was all right. He said yes, and for the first time in 2 days, I almost believed it too. After lunch, while Davi built towers on the rug, I went to the closet to put the framed photos back. The pictures looked normal. I was in them again. My face at his 3rd birthday. My arm around him at the school party. Everything in place. But behind the photo box, I found an envelope I did not remember keeping. It was old, yellowed at the edges, with my name written in my mother's handwriting, Raphael, childhood. I opened it. A photo fell to the floor, face down. When I picked it up, my fingers went cold. In the photo, I must have been about 5. I stood in front of a narrow house. Dark green gate. Side stairway. Crack near the gutter. Lit upstairs window, even in daylight. Beside me, there was a man. He was holding my hand. His face did not exist. It was a clean absence, a pale space where the image had not allowed someone to remain. I turned the photo over. On the back, written in the same handwriting as the rules, there was a sentence.
He also had to forget someone in order to stay.
I sat on the bedroom floor. The sentence did not explain everything. It explained just enough to destroy the safe version of my life. I thought of my parents, the yard, the kitchen, my mother's voice calling me to dinner, my father teaching me to ride a bicycle. For the first time, I realized some of those memories had no edges. No before, no after. They were loose scenes, too perfect, like photographs placed inside me. Davi appeared at the bedroom door.
Dad?
Hi.
You found it?
Found what, son?
The photo from when you were returned.
The word made me close my eyes. Returned. Not taken. Not lost. Returned. As if a child could be delivered to the wrong family, as long as he forgot the right one. Who told you that?
Nobody. I dreamed it.
About the house?
About you inside it.
And what was I doing?
You were sitting on the stairs. There was a man at the gate. He asked if you wanted to stay with the family that remembered you, or with the family that would love you later.
And what did I answer?
You did not answer. You only asked if they had pancakes there.
I laughed without meaning to. A small broken sound, almost a defense of the body. Davi did not laugh.
Dad? Who is the man you forgot?
That question still lives with me. Not like a sentence. Like a door. After that weekend, the drawing stopped for a while. Davi laughed at the crooked pancakes again, sang the song the right way, and called me Dad without hesitation. But sometimes, when he is almost asleep, he asks things I never told him. Whether I was afraid of hallways when I was small. Why I did not like a lit window on the 2nd floor. I say I do not know. And it is true. The old photo is still with me, hidden inside a book Davi never touches. I have thought about looking for the house. I have thought about destroying the photo. But every time I get close to deciding, I remember rule number 1. Do not ask who lives there. Maybe some questions are red doors. Today, when Davi comes for the weekend, I leave the living room without framed photos. Not because I fear losing the pictures. Out of respect for what they can become. And before he sleeps, I always hug my son a little longer than he thinks is necessary. He complains. Says he is big now. Says I squeeze too hard. I let go. But only after I feel his heart beating close to mine. Only after he remembers, even for a second, that before any house, any drawing, any man waiting at gate, there's that sound. His heart. Mine. And the space between them, which still knows the way back. Last week, Davi asked for the Little Boat song before sleeping. I sang it. The right way. When I reached the last verse, he corrected me.
That is not how it goes. Dad.
How does it go? Then?
The little boat does not know how to come back alone.
Outside, in the building hallway, old wood creaked. I did not look. I only sat on the bedroom floor and repeated very quietly, so I would not wake Davi. He is late. The house did not answer. But that night, for few seconds, the living room window reflected a yellow light that came from nowhere.